Welcome back to Holding the Room. I'm Melissa Sierra, executive coach, founder of the Operators Intelligence Council, and Forbes contributor. I want to ask you something nobody asks in a leadership meeting because it's too uncomfortable. If you already know what needs to happen, why haven't you said it? That silence right there, that's the boldness gap. And it's costing you more than any inefficiency your AI tools are solving. Let me describe someone to you. Smart, experienced, knows exactly what the problem is, sits in meetings where the real issue is invisible on the agenda, but obvious to anyone paying attention. Has thought about this on their drive home, in the shower, and to be honest, probably at 2 a.m., but hasn't said it. Not because they're afraid of being wrong, because they're afraid of what comes next if they're right. That's the boldness gap. The distance between what a leader knows and what a leader names. I see it everywhere, in C-suites, in founder conversations, in leadership teams that are technically brilliant and strategically frozen. And here's what I want you to notice. The boldness gap is not a personality problem. It's a confidence problem. It's a decision problem. And in the AI era, every week that gap stays open. And most importantly, it becomes expensive. Here's what the AI era did to boldness. It made ambiguity socially acceptable. When nobody knows exactly how AI will reshape your industry, we're still figuring it out, becomes a reasonable answer. When the technology is moving faster than anyone can track, uncertainty becomes a leadership shield. But your team isn't confused because the technology is complex. They're confused because their leader hasn't named what the technology means for them. And that's a different problem. And it has a different solution. The most common question I get from coaching clients right now is not, what AI tool should we adopt? It's, how do I talk to my team about this when I'm still figuring it out myself? And my answer is the same every time. You don't have to wait until you have certainty. You narrate the process. You say, here's what I know. Here's what I don't know. And here's what I'm protecting while we figure it out. That sentence, said with specificity, is boldness. Not having all the answers, saying the true thing about where you're at today. Let me give you 3 specific forms of boldness. These are behaviors, not personality traits, and you can start practicing them this week. Narrative boldness. This is telling your team what is changing, specifically, personally, before the rumor does. Not a memo, not a slide deck, a direct conversation. Here's what's happening, here is why, and here is what it means for you. The leaders who do this first have adoption rates that benchmark significantly higher than those who communicate reactively. And that is not a soft outcome. That is a boldness result. Declarative boldness. Publicly naming what you will not trade away. Before you tell your team what AI is going to change, they need to hear what is not going to change. What is non-negotiable? What are you protecting? Bold leaders declare this before the rollout, not in a memo to HR, out loud, on the record, where people can hold you to it. Confrontational boldness. And this is the hard one. The willingness to name the thing everybody sees, but nobody's saying. The strategy that isn't working. The executive who is the bottleneck. The initiative generating activity, but no results. Confrontational boldness is not aggression. It's clarity delivered with care. It opens a conversation instead of closing one. One of these three is the one that you're avoiding right now. You know which one. We have confused confidence with clarity, and it's ruining your leadership development. Most programs teach executives to project confidence, to stand tall, speak with authority, don't show uncertainty. And then we wonder why teams don't trust their leaders during transformation, because they can see the performance. Confidence is a posture. Clarity is a practice, and your team needs the practice, not the posture. One thing from this episode: identify the conversation you've been avoiding, the one that would require you to name something you already know. And have it this week. Not perfectly, not with a script, just clearly. That is boldness, and it will change something. I coach leaders exactly through this: the specific conversations that require boldness and how to have them without blowing up the room. I'm driven to work with leaders looking to showcase what modern leadership truly looks like. And if that's you, please consider joining the Operators Intelligence Council or book a one-on-one meeting with me for a free discovery call to work together. I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.